Hi, how are you? Bill Storm here again. Yesterday, I promised I would follow up my story and I would share with you how I was able to generate $106,722 in just short of 7 months using the Perfect Webinar system. Again, I'll reiterate this. We're all in the same boat here. We're all business owners, entrepreneurs, if you will, and we're all looking for those magic things that are going to enable us to scale our businesses, to 10x our businesses. But at the same time, we want to be able to create the lifestyle that we want to create. In the Perfect Webinar script and training system is exactly that opportunity for you. At least I know it was for me. So I want to be able to share this with you on how I did it, and more importantly, how you're going to be able to do the exact same thing. So here's basically the three things, right? Here's the three things that were key to me in being able to achieve this. I was already a motivated person. So hopefully if you're a motivated person. If you're not a motivated person and you don't really want the change, you're not going to do it. And that'll be the end of that. But one of the key concepts is you need to show up for training every day. One of my hobbies or pastimes, actually a lifelong activity that I participated in is martial arts, okay? In particular, jiu-jitsu, okay? So in jiu-jitsu, it's funny how it works, or in any other martial art, how it works. If you show up for class every day, magically you start getting really good at it, and the repetition is what matters. So when you do something over and over and over and over again, it becomes automatic, it becomes rote, and you become very, very good at it to where you no longer need a script anymore. And this is the level at which you need to internalize the Perfect Webinar script and all of the training that goes along with it. So if you're willing to do that, that's step one, you'll be able to make it. If you're not willing to do that, then you can just put this away because it's not going to work, okay? Number two, you must put pencil to paper and define your 5 whys. What are the 5 whys? Okay, this was really important because entrepreneurs, like anybody else, I mean, our minds go all over the place. We're thinking of a million different things. We try to do everything ourselves and it's impossible, okay? So the first thing is, you must define your one target market, okay? That's the one type of person you want to help, okay? Specifically, I mean one person with one problem. You need to be able to look that person dead in the eye and say, if you will just use my product or if you will just use my service, this will change everything from you, and you have to believe that 100% with the bottom of your heart. So you're defining your one target market, your customer avatar. So for me, my customer avatar is generally people that are business owners that are burning both ends of the candle. They're generally making anywhere from $300,000 a year to $1 million a year, and they're stuck, right? They're on that hamster wheel and they just can't quite figure it out. So I'm a few chapters ahead of those people, so it allows me to be able to share with them exactly what I did. That's my one target market, and you need to know yours very, very specifically. Number two, one product. Don't try to be, major in being, a wandering generality. That's a story I remember from Zig Ziglar. He said, you can't be a wandering generality, you have to be a meaningful specific, okay? So you're going to define your one product that you are going to offer them, and that's the thing that you're going to focus on growing $1 million business with, or a 7-figure business with. Then the next thing you're going to need is one conversion tool. For me, it is that Perfect Webinar funnel. It's the auto webinar that we put together, okay? And what that does is that allows you to scale yourself. It allows you to sell 24/7, 365 days a year, and I'm just using that one thing. Next thing is one traffic source. There's all kinds of places where you can find your people, right? But you need to be masterful at one of them. It could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be YouTube channel, it could be podcasting, it could be a blog, whatever it is, get really, really good at one of them and become really well known in that space to be able to drive traffic to you. If you're trying to do too many of them, you're just going to have a really difficult time and you're going to get stuck, okay? And then the last thing is 1 year. You've got to give yourself a year. You're not going to become masterful at anything overnight, okay? If you give it 2 weeks, you give it a month, forget it. You've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be excited about the process, not the end result, okay? So just like in martial arts training that I talked about, in order to get a black belt, for example, in jiu-jitsu, it takes about 10 years. So you really have to just forget about trying to master something like that overnight. It's something that you do over and over and over again. And wisdom is the skill that you get by doing the thing. Okay, so you have to do it over and over and over again. You have to fail over and over and over again in order to finally get that right. Okay, so those are basically your 3 key takeaways on how you're going to be able to do this. And then the last thing that I will tell you, and this was the magic, the magic secret, if you will. Again, I've told you about that before. I don't believe in secrets, but now I kind of do, because there are some things that were secret to me that I just didn't understand. And one of the things that I needed to do in order to really scale my business is I needed to understand how to create an unlimited ad spend to completely dominate my space. And I had a very, I did not have a good understanding of exactly how much money that I needed to spend on traffic or to get or to pull traffic into my funnel. So one of the things that I'd love to teach you, and this is part of the 6-week sprint. Next week or tomorrow, actually, I'm going to start introducing you to the concept of the 6-week sprint. And basically what we're doing is I'm taking anybody who's an action taker that wants to really start scaling their businesses, and I'm going to challenge you to build out your perfect webinar script using the builder and using the training sessions, and then I'm going to give you the free funnel, the auto webinar funnel, and we're going to build that thing and get this thing up and running for you. And then once we do this, then I have to introduce the concept of how to create an unlimited ad spend. Because what most people are trying to do is they're trying to throw a little bit of wood onto the fire when they're trying to make a bonfire, right? They're just throwing twigs on it. And in fact, what you need to do is you need to start with the twigs, but then you need to, and you test things and you start building up the fire, but then you need to start heaping logs onto it in order for it to burn really bright. And this is exactly the issue. So one of the things that makes ClickFunnels or Russell Brunson so different is he doesn't look for venture capital, right? What he's done is something much more intelligent. What he's done is he's created a system, which I'm going to share with you, that allowed me to massively just jump my results very, very quickly, even though I was in that learning curve. And what we're doing is we're creating an unlimited ad spend. So literally, for every $1 you put back out, you would get at least $1 back. And if you can master that one key concept, everything will change for you, because now instead of spending $1,000 on an ad, you could spend 10 times that. You could spend 10,000. So as long as you're putting 10,000 out and you get 10,000 back, you're good. If you put 100,000 out, you could get $100,000 back. And what that does is that extends your reach, and it reaches. It extends your reach, and it also puts the frequency in front of your customer avatar, your perfect person, right? That ideal target market that you're looking for, and now it starts flooding in the doors. Now, I will tell you this, one of the big issues you're going to have is once more business comes in the door, you have to be able to process that business. So depending on what business that you're in, I can also help you with that. But for now, I just wanted to share with you exactly how that was done. All I did was master the perfect webinar script, right? I went through the training, repped it over and over and over and over again, practiced it, recorded myself, listened to myself, went over and over and over and over until I had it, then put it all into place. Then I tested it to see how my numbers worked, and then once my numbers were working and I was getting the percentages that I want out of each step of my funnel, I was attracting the right people, then I started pouring more money into it, and to my surprise, the math works, right? Generally what will happen is if you get 1,000 clicks on your ad, you're going to start seeing some some basic baseline numbers that are pretty consistent. You might get 100 clicks to your ad, and maybe you get 8% of those people, or 80, to actually opt in. And then out of those 80 people, a certain percentage will filter through your funnel. And what we're going to do is we're going to test and we're going to retest until those numbers become so consistent that you have the confidence then to be really bold about it and start pushing more money towards that. And what'll happen is you'll be so relieved, because you'll start to get that consistent and measurable result that you're looking for, and you're going to be able to 10x your business very, very quickly, just like I did. So there's, I was going to say it's a minute to win it, but I went kind of long here today. It's about 9 minutes or so. But hopefully that helps. If you haven't, if you didn't pick up the slide builder and the perfect webinar secrets training session, you really are missing out. Please make sure that you click on those and go through and grab those. You won't be sorry. I'm here to help in any way that I can.